Hi everyone, it's Leslie here from Elegant Edges. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK and I live on the south coast of England. Today I'm here as part of the Stampin' Up Around the World video hop. If you haven't seen it before, it's a monthly hop of very talented people and I'm joining in for the very first time, so I'm a little bit excited and nervous all at the same time. So I'll pop a list of everyone who's taking part underneath the video in the description, together with my page where you will find all the dimensions. So don't worry about making a note of the sizes. If you're interested in recreating this, you can download a free PDF from my Facebook page. Okay, so this month our theme is water. So I thought I would do a waterfall project specifically for all the people who are suddenly thinking about joining in with the scrapbooking and memory keeping. So this is a little memory keeper and it's the simplest one I could kind of think of. I've been making albums for over 20 years and this is dead simple. If you can make a card, you can do this. So it's made from cardstock. There is no difficult making a hard cover, just cardstock. And you can see there's a pocket on the left. I've only got a small tag. You can put all sorts of memorabilia in there, big tags, photos, whatever you want. This is big enough to take a 7x5 photo if you want to. And then you've got lots of flips. And these aren't just flip pages, these are pockets. But very easy, and I'll show you a dead simple hack to make all of these. You don't have to have 12x12 cardstock. This is done with A4 card. Okay, so this is how you do it. Sit back and enjoy. So the first thing you need is an entire sheet of A4. Don't have to cut it at all. Let me get my little crib sheet there in case I do go wrong. And what I've done is to get my trimmer, which I would not be without, my trusty trimmer. And on the long side, you're going to score at 5.5, 5.5, turn it round, score at 5.5 on the other side. Okay, that's the difficult bit. Then from another piece of A4 cardstock, I've cut two pieces of the entire width, 8.25 by 5 3/8. So if you're nervous about that, especially if you use centimeters, you go to 5.5 and then back 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so. And this is to reinforce the cover. This is the cover that we're going to make. So I'm just going to fold and burnish. And you can see it makes a sort of book shape. Very, very simple, but does the trick. So there's our cover. And what we're going to do is to stick this on the top, have a double layer. Make sure I've got the nice edge on display, and I'm going to stick it so that all three sides line up, and you'll see it's a little bit short on this edge, and the reason is I don't want it to interfere with the fold of the spine. So I'm using today all-purpose Tombow all-purpose glue from Stampin' Up. And I put it in a fine tip applicator just so that I don't get glue squishing out everywhere. And all I'm doing is just gluing this down. I'm trying to make sure I'm in focus. Don't want too much near the edges. Quick squiggle all over. Wet glue is my glue of choice for albums. Sometimes I will use some kind of double-sided tape and wet glue and do a sort of belt and braces job. Today I'm just using the wet glue, lining up Make sure you get a moment of wiggle room. Okay, make sure this is the wrong side, this one. You just get that little funny edge when you cut. So near the edge, but not quite on it. So what I'm going to do first is actually construct it, and then I'll decorate it at the end at high speed so you don't get bored. Okay, so we have 2 layers of cardstock then. If you're making this in white, use the thick white cardstock. Okay, there we go. So nice and sturdy now. It makes such a difference having that extra layer. Just going to make sure I'm squished right down. Okay. So that's the side for the pocket. I'm going to start constructing the little flips. So to make the flips, we're going to use Stampin' Up envelopes, and I've chosen these because they're a nice quality and they have this kind of shape closure, and that's quite important. You need one. It's no good having one with a V-shaped envelope because it won't do for this. We need the edges to be nearer the top and bottom. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is to put my envelope into my trimmer with the right side on the top. So right side on the top, and I'm going to cut the right hand edge of the envelope when I'm looking at it to 5 1/4. Okay, so on my trimmer to 5 1/4 cut. One more, I've done all the rest. I'm using 8 envelopes, so you'll be pleased to know I've done all the others. Okay, we don't need that. That can go in the bin. Then I'm going to open it up, open the flap up. And what we need is from this crease, I'm going to put that crease on the 1/2 inch line. Put the fold, cut it down. It so happens that with the Stampin' Up ones, they go exactly to 5 inches, which is very easy to measure. So we just have now a 1/2 inch tab. So I'm going to do it again. Fold at 1/2 inch, in case your envelopes are a different size. And discard. Okay. And these envelopes are going to make our little pockets. So I'm just going to pop my trimmer to the side for a moment. Now it's important that you cut from the same side of the envelope each time and from the right side, okay? Because there's our pocket when we stick it. Okay, so I'm going to stick it down by placing my wet glue on this tab. So you want it near the top. You don't want so much on the edge though that it squishes. So I'm holding the edge of that under, and I'm going to pop this centrally on. I'll hold it right close to the camera if I can, so that these edges will be the same. So I'm trying to, by eye, get halfway from the fold line and the same distance from the top. Okay, open it up, burnish it down. Very important that top is straight. Okay, then we take the next one, and you've guessed it, we're going to do the same thing. Again, glue on this, make sure I'm in shot, glue on this flap, hold it under with my fingers. This time I'm going to butt it up to the edge of the previous envelope. I'm going to butt the right hand edge up. There's a little gap here, but don't worry about that. And keep this edge straight. Okay. If they're not quite in line, well, you're just going to have to persuade them. And we're going to go through that, and we're going to do all 8 of them. So I'll go back and I'll speed this bit up so that you don't have to watch me 8 times. Okay. Okay, so that's got all the envelopes there, and you can see we've got lovely little flips. Don't worry about this gaping hole, we're going to fix that in just a moment. So the next thing we're going to do is to put some layers on the some cover. I've chosen this from the Perennial Lavender papers, and to stick it on I'm just going to pop it flat before I do anything else. Now we've got that extra layer here that really doesn't show. We're just going to make sure that that is central on the right, and hopefully that should butt up right to the edge of that card, and then you won't see that there's an extra thickness of card there. So I'm going to pop some glue on here. So this bit, if you don't like wet glue, you can obviously do with anything. So I'm going to get it straight, centre it up, top, side, bottom, feel that edge with my thumbnail. There we go. Just like a card making. So you're going to need 3 the same size, which all in the dimensions. I'd decided that I could have the plain one on the back, but I rather like the pretty colour, so I have the same on the back. Now, if you wanted to put a ribbon closure on, then like I did last time, you would put that on before this paper. This one, I'm not going to put the ribbon on. Let's make sure that top edge, just trying to check to see if I'm in shot for you. Top, side and bottom, line up this edge here. There we go. Then I've cut a piece here, which I could have made a little bit wider, I suppose, really. But I think by the time it's folded, it will look nice. There we go. That's our look. We're going to need another piece on the inside. Now, I didn't have any in my Perennial Lavender. I wanted a sort of all over blended design, but I had this piece in the one that carried over from last year, and I've just used it. Why have I forgotten the name? I'll pop it on the PDF. So there's no need to worry if you don't quite have the same or enough paper in one paper pack. As long as the colour is right, we all know Stampin' Up colours are run true, and they you can mix and match sets. It was in this particular paper pack. So I'm going to need another piece for the inside. I might have to trim that still. No, I did. And this time I'm going to put the crumb cake side down, just for a change. I'm trying to line it up at the top, line it up at the bottom. There we go. And there's quite a big gap so that nothing interferes with the folds. There we go. Okay, I've got a pocket to go here, but we'll do that afterwards. I'm going to show you how to cover these with DSP. So perennial lavender, there's 8 pockets, so I've got 16. Normally with a waterfall you wouldn't cover with paper or cardstock because it makes it thick, but because envelopes aren't as thick as DSP, we can do that. This is my pocket, so I'm going to have this one on the top. This side is easy. I like to make it first so that I get my paper the right way up. This side is easy, but I very nearly got it all wrong on my prototype. So just centre it, top, bottom, sides. Try and make this side straight. Okay. So I'm just going to work out a quick pattern so that I don't have all the same ones together all the time. Okay. So on the second piece, it's just the same as the first, only this time the bottom edge is the most important, because this is the one that shows more than the top. So if you have to line one up, this side and the bottom edge. Okay, back now. So this time we're going to put some paper on here, and this is the difficult bit, so you need to kind of watch what I do here. So I don't want purple with that, let's have a bluey colour. So I've got this to seal up, but not this edge, so I'm going to put some glue, a fine line near this edge here. Okay, and then on my paper I'm going to go around the edge and stick it down, just as I would normally, making sure the top and the sides are nice and line. So now this is then created, well, it will, I won't actually pick it up just for a moment, I'll just let it dry. I'm going to do another couple while that's drying. So I've got a greeny one, let's have a dark one. So a line here, and then all round the paper. What you don't want to do is put glue there. Okay. So I'm going to speed up again and go through. Okay, so there's it all stuck down now. So Where we cut the envelope open at the sides, it takes a few times to actually open it, and you can see there's a pocket now. So all of these are now pocket flips. So depending on your actual size of envelopes, you have a space here. So what I'm going to do with mine is create a little pocket at the bottom. I'll pop some, no, that's for that side. I'll cut some paper because everyone's different. Okay, and what I've done is I've scored at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So I hope you can see the score lines here. Let me fold them so you can see. Quick burnish so that they're more obvious for you. So this is how you make them in a memory book. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut at an angle right through the point of the corner. And what this does is to take the bulk away. Then when you fold these back, apart from dropping them, there we are, you'll see that they now meet up. Now if you see there's a little catch, all you do is just take your scissors and just increase the angle just slightly. Little catch there. Okay, so I like to take mine off so there's nothing there at all, because that makes it a lot slimmer. And by the time you've added photos in here, you are going to have quite a bit of bulk. So I've chosen the same colour as my base, so it doesn't show. What I think I will do is just take a fraction off that top, so that doesn't show either. Right, now I'm just going to hold these back. By eye, I'm going to place it. Well, here the pocket underneath the waterfall element is finished. As you can see, that's the pocket I added, and I've just covered it and lined the inside with some designer series paper. Oh, sorry about that, my phone cut out. Don't you love it when that happens? So I'm just going to show you what I did with that pocket that's now in place. Imagine this piece of scrap card was this piece here. So I've scored it on 2 sides at 1/2 inch. Cut the corner off like we did the pocket. Not that one, this one. Fold them under. Okay, so that's how the big pocket. To get this angle, what I did was, with a ruler, opened it flat, measured in the same amount up and across, and I chose, let me just check what I chose, 1 3/4. So from that edge, 1 3/4 and marked. From this edge, 1 3/4 and marked. Popped it in my trimmer. Mark at the bottom, mark at the top. Make sure they're both in the channel, hold tight and cut. Now I haven't got the same angle because my card isn't square like this one, but you can see what I did. And then for the DSP, you need to measure this side here, take off 1/4 inch, measure this side, take off 1/4 inch, lay it on top. So lay it on top, and then just mark where you want the cut to be. Mark again at the bottom, pop it in your trimmer and cut, and it will then fit. So even if you've got a weird angle here, your paper will then fit. So that's that bit done. Okay, now we have one job left to do, which I just tried to do before I realised that my phone had stopped recording. I cut these narrow strips. There's a 1/2 inch white layer here, but we need to avoid the fold, so this is cut. Same as the DSP here, 5 inches, but instead of being 1/2 inch, it's 3/8, and that's so it avoids both folds. So I've just cut 8 of these, and I'm going to speed up as I pop these in that channel. So the album is all finished now, a little waterfall folio. You could add a title on the front, or you can just pop it here. This space is ideal for a 5x7 photo. You can add small tags, as I've done. These I've cut from the die set, Greetings of the Season, and I've also added some dies in the pockets, some tags rather, not dies. And these tags are great because they're just big enough to do a little spot of journaling. You could say where the photo was taken, when it was, just enough. Or of course you could add a much larger piece. I popped some ribbon on the end, and that will stop the tag getting lost inside, as well as being able to pull it out, and it finishes with a nice edge. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please look underneath the video and see the next person in the blog hop. Thank you. If you've liked it, please like and subscribe to my channel and the blog hop. Thank you very much. Bye.